For 3 years in a row, several local organizations will join together in an effort to dismantle racial iniquities in our community. The third annual Community Summit on Race is just around the corner. It's open to the public and includes breakout sessions where young adults and members of the local judiciary will come together. Precious Bedell of the Women's Initiative Supporting Health at the U of R is here, along with Kelly Quinn with the Judicial and Community Relations Group. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having us.
So this is the third year for the summit. How did this get started, and is there a specific theme this year?
Well, we're excited about it, and it started because of race, and to dismantle and build relationships with different systems, the education system, housing, and the criminal justice system. And our communities have some serious issues about race and incarceration and mass incarceration. So we're trying to build relationships to build a bridge of trust between the community and the criminal justice system. What
are all the organizations that and stakeholders that are involved in planning this and bringing this all together?
Well, it's Unite Rochester, Free is the head of it, Free. So that's facing race, embracing equity, and we have different subgroups and work groups rather. And Kelly and I are a part of the criminal juvenile justice system workshop.
And you'll be leading a breakout session?
Yeah, we'll be leading a breakout session with 4 incredible judges who are going to give their time to talk to young people about what they do, what type of how they make their decisions, and that kind of thing, to sort of dispel some of the issues about why are African American and Latino people disproportionately incarcerated more so than any other people, and to look at issues like women who are becoming the emerging face of the criminal justice system. The project that I work on with the U of R, we work with women recently released from incarceration, providing health care and services for reentry and social services to help them re-enter successfully.
And Kelly, this is your first year being involved with the summit. How did you get involved, and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, this is something that I have a personal involvement with. It's something that when Precious came to me and explained what the project was, I was very interested in, because it is a very prominent problem that's going on, especially in Rochester as a city, and it's something that I've seen with my own 2 eyes. I feel like as a young person in this city who has gone through what I've gone through in the past and has the backstory and the life that I have, I feel I have a responsibility to get involved and represent a demographic that has remained ultimately voiceless up until this point.
Okay, and can anybody come? Are you inviting the public? Do you need to register? Who would you like to see come to the summit?
Well, we would like to see people come from our community. We would like to see people come who feel that after they hear our breakout sessions and participate in it, who are willing to join movements to build trustful relationships, to advocate for people who are unfortunately not able to advocate for themselves, to raise funds for our project and things of that nature.
Kelly, why do you think it's so important to especially engage young people in these conversations?
It's definitely important because, I mean, like most people have said in the past, the young people are the future. Who's going to take over Rochester when everybody else is gone? The young people. You know, we're inheriting the city, and what ultimately are we inheriting? And it's up to us to voice those opinions and what we think we need for ourselves in the future, and what we're going to pass down then to a younger generation that's going to come after us.
Precious, what would you say from the past year's summits, what have some of the accomplishments been? Like you said, you want people to leave and have a purpose and take some action. What are some of the accomplishments that you can share?
Well, in our workshop that we work with, when we work with Mike Bleak, he's our coordinator, And what we've done so far is that we have worked with our administrative judge, who is Judge Doran. And Judge Doran has been a person that's been brave enough to come to the table to talk with us about race and other issues. And he teaches a class at the University of Rochester, and that's how I met him. I was one of the people that came to talk about the project that I worked with. And he and I developed a relationship, and he developed a relationship with Mike and people. And so he just said to us one day that, he says, you know, Precious, I really feel like you guys are singing to the choir, because he has a lot of things going on to really try to look at race in the criminal justice system. And so he said, I really want to hear the voices of the people. So we put together a panel. Kelly was one of the people on the panel at our church, which is affectionately called Two Saints. And it's at St. Luke, St. Simon, and it's a social justice church. We welcome everyone at our table, and particularly people from the reentry world, people who have had past drug problems, and people who are very prominent. We have a very diverse, wonderful parishioners and clergy. And we welcome the opportunity to have Judge Doran come and sit with us while young people talk to him about the criminal justice system, about waiting on a bed for treatment, and Kelly can tell you more about that.
Okay.
Speaking with Judge Doran was definitely, it was an amazing opportunity, because the point of this project is for there to be a two-way dialogue. It's not just enough for the activist side and for those of us who want to see the change, or the people, as Judge Doran calls us, to want this change and to get our feet moving. It has to go both ways. We can't just do it on our own. So to have somebody who is as influential as Judge Doran want to be involved, it's something that I felt necessary to capitalize on. And it helped build a level of trust to see somebody like that really value an opinion like mine. When for so long, in my experience, my opinion, what I thought, how I felt, being a young person, didn't matter. It wasn't important. It was about the bureaucracy. It was about making money. And the lives that were affected in the long run weren't being taken into account. And now, for once, something's being set up where those things are being taken into account. It is the sole focus of what we're trying to do, is how can we change the future? How can we make things better? And it was a very humbling and honoring experience to be a part of.
When you share with people the work that you're doing, and you might invite them to the summit, what do you tell them, and what's their reaction?
You know, I always tell them that it's going to be an experience that they'll never forget. Our planners have been working really hard to make sure that the surveys from the years before are put into a format that really engages community. We've been really doing a lot of rehearsing in a way, so that the breakout sessions are not rehearsed in a way. You know what I mean? It's like we've been looking at ways to engage community people so that they can bring their views, okay? And not everyone is going to agree with us about the criminal justice system. It's a paradox about crime, and it's a paradox about race. And it's a paradox now, too, that they are incarcerating poor white people. So it's not just about race, you know. It is about race, okay? African American and Latino people are incarcerated at higher disproportionately rates, and we need to say that, and we need to say it not with anger. We need to say it in a way that people can understand that not only is it discrimination, but it's not right to incarcerate people the way we incarcerate them. We have a small country incarcerated. And so what I say to people is that, you know, we really want people to look at the fact that we have 2,500 people coming back from jails and prisons into our county.
Wow.
Yeah, and that our county has a very high poverty rate for children, and children of African American and Latino descent. And we want to be active and proactive in doing things to make lives better for people in our community, all people.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Again, the third annual Community Summit on Race will be held on Saturday, September 26th at Wilson Foundation Academy. For more information and to register for this event, visit faceracerock.org/summit 2015 or call 325-5116, extension 1732. Thanks for watching CityWise. I'm Tiana Stevens, and we'll see you next week. The views and opinions expressed by guests appearing on CityWise do not necessarily reflect those of the host, WXXI staff, or any entity of or affiliated with the City of Rochester. If you have questions, comments, or program suggestions, contact CityWise at 311 or 428-1201 or send us an email at citywise@cityofrochester.gov.